Obsessed. We'll be sitting down with a fresh guest each week. Someone who shares the same kayak fishing passion that runs through our veins. We're talking kayak anglers, kayak companies, lure experts. Heck, anyone who's got a story to tell about landing the big ones from a kayak. We're setting our sights on becoming the #1 kayak fishing podcast in the world. You'll get a chuckle, a grin, and hey, maybe even a belly laugh. Because we believe in the power of humor. But above all, we're here to educate and inspire. So, whether you're a seasoned kayak angler or just dipping your toes into this exhilarating world, join us on the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast. It's time to reel in adventure, camaraderie, and the joy of the catch. Here's your host, Darren Windle.
Fish freaks, welcome to episode number 129 of the KFO show, Kayak Fishing Obsessed. I'm Darren Windle, and I'm hanging out with my co-host, Wyatt the Hammer Hammond, fresh off an absolute killer run at the Bassmaster Kayak Series down on the Kissimmee chain. We'll get to that interview segment later, midway through the show, but tonight we're kicking things off with Heath from Yak Tribe. We're going to talk kayak fishing community, the growth of the sport, and everything that happens behind the scenes that keeps this thing rolling. And really quick, huge thanks to this community. Chad Hoover and I just launched KFAS, Kayak Fishing Advanced Safety Training, this past week, alongside it the Nowhere, No Share Pledge, with over 1,000 anglers already signed on, committing to making kayak fishing safer. If this is your first time hearing about KFAS, head over to kfast.co. That is KFAST.co. First, let's get this started a little bit by thanking our show sponsor. We all know that's going to be Dark Horse Tackle, and they're coming in with in their box with another perfect pairing. Wyatt, it's going to be this guy right here. So this is going to be the Jigmaster Perfected Ned Head. It's going to have a screw lock on the top up here, and this is a Crocogator Slide Shad. So when that bite's tough and that cold water bite, I look forward to throwing. I know it's interesting. Little wings on that.
It looks like a goby bait, smallmouth. Drag that around the small river.
I cannot wait. So check these out at darkhorsetackle.com. Wyatt, how you doing, brother?
Doing all right. Let's say it's finally a nice 70-degree day here. So brought some of the Florida back with me.
My wife texted me. She's like, it's 52 degrees out. I was like, well, it was negative 20 last week. So I'm going to go outside in the garage, and opened up the garage, and I started just goofing around with fishing stuff. It was freaking awesome. So and then I looked at the month ahead, and I was like, ooh, things are going to start melting. I see wind, I see rain, I see 40 degrees. I was like, oh man, fishing season is right around the corner.
Here it comes.
So pumped, so jacked. Well, I'm going to withhold all the questions I want to ask you right now, Wyatt, because we're going to get to that in a little bit, but I don't want to leave our guests in the green room too much longer. So with that said, let's welcome Heath from Yak Tribe to the show. Heath, how's it going, brother?
It's going good, man. Thanks for having me tonight, fellas. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here, of course.
Yeah. Now, I didn't say your last name because I figured I was going to butcher it. Is it Panganiban?
It's funny, that's like the first question, whatever podcast, whatever. How do you say your name? And I always say the same thing. If you want to say it the white way, okay. Yeah, can I say that? Okay, good. Yeah. Panganiban.
Panganiban. I would have said it correctly.
There you go. If you want to say it, my father's way, Filipino, it's Panganiban. So whichever, my mom says Panganiban, my dad says Panganiban, whatever makes you more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm going.
I acknowledge both. There you go.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Yak Tribe. We have actually. Did we meet down at ICAST? Were you down at ICAST? We have never met.
I'm always at ICAST, but no, we've never met, man. So this is our first time meeting virtual, man. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I appreciate everything you do. The tribe that you're creating over there, I think it's freaking awesome. So I guess we'll just hop right into it because I'm curious as well. Of course, spend some time on your website, yak.tribe.com. Because there's something else called Yak Tribe. I don't know what else is out there. It's really weird. It's like
War thing going on.
Yeah, it's like this old gaming thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love it. So for those who are listening and who may not know, what is Yak Tribe and how did it start?
Yeah, man. So Yak Tribe is we say we're a national kayak fishing community. We don't mean to take over the nation or the globe by saying that, but at the time when I started Yak Tribe, I was really careful to not, I don't like creating things if there's not a void, in the space that I'm wanting to create. Okay. So I felt like there was a need there. Back in like 2015, back in those days, I guess, 10 years ago? That's crazy, right?
It is crazy.
I'd already been kayak fishing for a long time. I've been doing it since I was a kid. But in those times, it was really more, of course, there was KBF. Chad, he was doing his thing, and he was focusing on bass, and he still does. But everything was really local. I mean, sometimes you could find something regional, like in Louisiana or by some of the bigger lakes. And so I really wanted to take at the time, and I still am a web developer, take my experience from, building websites and doing all those things, and then create a social aspect for, and a community aspect of kayak fishing. And actually I went to ICAST in 2014, I think it was. Okay. And I was like, man, there's a lot of great stuff here for like fishermen in general. At that point, kayak fishing wasn't really taking off as hard as it, was in the coming few years. And so I just really felt like, man, we could do something about that, and we could use social media to our advantage. And we just started doing that. And just basically, honestly, man, it kind of started off as like, what's that website that you would go on for? I mean, I would never on them, like a dating profile, like a dating, like a match.
MySpace for kayak fishing.
Yeah, like match.com or whatever. Honestly, it kind of started like that, where I just started like connecting kayak anglers that were local. And then we had a database on our website, and I was like, look, throw your city, throw your state, throw your Instagram up there. And funny enough, people actually started using the database on our website, and they're like, yeah, I linked up with so-and-so in Tampa Bay, Florida, and we went fishing, and I saw the fruits of that. And I was like, hold up, this is actually kind of a pretty cool thing. So I really started going a little bit more harder on social media and just pushing like, hey, we're not just like a regional or a local or a county community. Let's connect nationwide. And so then we started basically doing meetups all over the nation. We started off in Florida, then Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, and we just started going all the way to Cali. And my wife and I bought an RV, threw our 2 kids in there, and basically just started living out what it is I was trying to preach at the time, which was community. And you guys remember like the boondoggles and all those things?
Oh,
like,
yeah. 100%.
Those things ended up like dying off, right? And so I was like, hey, man, I want to go do this. I want to go to the local regional communities and kind of support what they have going on. Mm-hmm. And we started having people come from like Pennsylvania down to Louisiana for meetups, from California, from California to Georgia, from Florida to Texas. And it became a thing where, I mean, we would launch 100 kayaks at a Louisiana kayak launch at Pat Kayak. Have a massive crawfish boil afterwards. Everything's always free. And we just started doing it just grassroots like that. So, man, in a nutshell, that's pretty much that's why I say we're a national kayak fishing community. Not to say, hey, we're better than any other community out there. It's in support of all of the other communities out there.
So Heath, all I'm hearing is that you were the original matchmaker for kayak anglers.
Man, I'll take it.
Bringing dudes together from across the country just to go fishing.
Basically, man, giving every dude an excuse to give their wives to go fishing. So yeah,
I gotta make new friends. You always tell me to go out and make new friends. I'm trying.
Mm-hmm. Basically, the dating grounds for kayak fishermen, I guess. Honestly, though, in like all seriousness, these dudes have become like, it's kind of a beautiful thing because all these like spin-off communities have come out from it. So like these guys, they come to a Yak Tribe meetup, they meet each other, they're having a fun time, and then I see them on their own trip together. I'm like, hey, where's the invite? I'm the one. I matched y'all together.
I'm the OG matchmaker. Come on,
in the world.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. So I think technically you can still go on your website. Is that what's still live right now? You can go there and you can see people's Instagram and you can filter and
you can still use that. And honestly, I've taken, there's been ups and downs in the journey of Yak Tribe just because of my profession and what I do for work, and that portion of the website and the community. I've dedicated 2026 to really pushing that harder and making those connections. And everything's free, as you saw. There's no, you don't need to pay for anything. It's just a resource.
Yeah. Wyatt, what do you think?
That's pretty awesome because like I mean, back whenever I started kayak fishing and kayak fishing tournaments, like just finding somebody to go with made all the difference in the world of like, do I want to drive to Alabama by myself? Not really.
Right.
But if somebody wants to go with me, absolutely, I'm down for that. Or if, if I want to go 2 hours down the road and go fishing in saltwater, I don't want to go by myself. I want to go with somebody, and like being able to find somebody like that just wants to go out there with you is just an infinite confidence booster. So that's awesome.
When you find that fishing buddy, it literally changes the game.
Yeah.
Like when you find that community, like I went and did that tour of all these Humminbird and Yak Attack and Bonafide, and I originally was going to do that myself. And like 2 weeks before I left, I called up my buddy Jake. I was like, "Hey man, you want to go with me?" Probably it's like really short notice. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to take that time off." So he took a week off and he went with me. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that trip would have sucked."
Awesome.
2,700 miles in my 2000 Tacoma. That wouldn't have been the funnest ride. And then of course he brought his drone and it made all the videos look better. And it was just, we did some lives on the road. But when you find that fishing buddy, it changes the game. I was just talking to Chad Hoover, talking about bringing those boondoggles back, right? Focusing less when it comes to KBF, when it comes to tournaments, right? Still doing the tournament thing, but focusing a whole lot more on the community aspect of it. I was like, man, I think that's what most guys and girls out there are looking for. I mean, I know I don't want to get into many tournaments with Wyatt because that's just a donation. So, my gosh, how do you make it free, Heath? I'm curious. You said free a couple times, but there's an expense to all this stuff. So I'm curious, how does that work?
Yeah, man. Well, one, I applaud you for how dedicated you are with your podcast, because doing what you do, what we do, what Chad does, what everyone here does, what you do, it consumes your time. It can consume your life. The cost that goes into what you do, right? So that question's like, how do you do it? I'm really grateful because, I have two full-time jobs. I'm a full-time minister at my church. Have been for a long time. I'm also my wife and I own a marketing agency. We've owned that since we got married, which was like 14 years ago. That's how we supported ourselves on the road, which was through the marketing agency, through working with brands and managing social media accounts like Lucky Tackle Box, O-Meals, different accounts like that. Yeah. And so that was a blessing for us. So we run both of those, and I don't have to draw funds from the community to do what I do because I have a way to support ourselves. And so it can stay a passion of mine. And that's why I say it's got its ups and downs, and I'm always asking for patience and forgiveness and long suffering from our community, because they'll see a 1.5-year streak of Yak Tribe going hard, but then they'll see like a 3-month sabbatical or like a pause from us. And that's because I've got 4 kids, man. I've got a family, I've got a ministry, I've got a marketing agency of clients I have to take care of. I'm grateful to do that, but it lets me be able to keep this a love of mine and a passion and be able to pour into it without feeling all the pressure. But there is pressures, we sell, this isn't a plug, but all this stuff.
Plug away.
No, all this stuff, we don't, we do make money like on the hats and gear and off the lures and everything.
Yeah. We wall behind you.
Yeah. We make a little bit of money off of that, but we dump it right back into the community. I really don't keep this money. And so all that money goes to like our meetups and to the big bus Yak Tribe kayak shop meetups and the tournaments and everything. I just funnel all those funds there. I will be honest, there was definitely times on the road where we needed that Yak Tribe money. So everyone who bought a shirt, everyone who bought a hat, you were directly putting food in our mouths, we were eating and living off of that, because sometimes you lose a client and then you have nothing. So
my 2 kids are hungry. Please buy a hat, folks. I gotta
seriously. And now 4 kids are hungry. So please buy a hat. Yeah,
4 hats.
Like that. Yeah, 4 hats. Yeah. Yeah, man. But it does, like when I'm setting up these tournaments and these meetups and all that, man, it's a grind. And sometimes I'm like, man, and then you're like stressing because hopefully people show up and hopefully people participate, and they always do, and they always show up. But yeah, I'm working completely for free when it comes to all that. That's why we're able to give away literally thousands and thousands of dollars of prizes and everything, because I don't profit off of it.
Yeah. Man, so, hats off to you. You got a lot going on. One, I know what it's like to be a minister. I was one for 5 or 6 years coming out of college. And so that's you say full time, that's a full time and a half. And then you got marketing, which is your own. It's not like you work for a marketing, you own your own business.
My wife and I
job and a half. So it's like you have 3 jobs. And then you have Yak Tribe, which I'm sure would take another job and a half if you let it. Right. And so I tip my hat to you, and thanks to whoever has been a part of Yak Tribe over the years. A lot of sacrifice involved in that. And so I'm curious, you talked about the ebbs and flows over the years, for the last 10 years. Walk us through, we got bits and pieces of it just now, but walk us through some of the milestones and the lows for you. I'm just curious about hearing that story a bit.
Yeah, man. So, wow. I haven't thought about that in quite some time. So that's actually a really, all right, let me try, and maybe more will come to me as I go through it, but try not to be too long-winded. But yeah, man, we started, my wife and I started Yak Tribe in 2015. And of course, all the fire was there. All the excitement was there. I was working at a really big church at the time. And we ended up taking a step down to pursue. Well, we just needed the break. I was literally working 60 hours a week. I kid you not, 60 hours a week at this particular, it was a very big church, and had a lot of positions there. And so we needed that break. We bought the RV, and it was just the time of our lives. We were shaking hands with, we broke the wall between social media and being a real person. That's why our tagline was real people, real stories, real connections, because I'm like, I'm so over the people who are so tough or even super cool on social media, but they don't dare meet you in person, and show up to something. Right. And so I wanted to make that normal. And so, we were excited, man. We went from, our first stop was Gulf Shores, Alabama, and really exciting. I felt like, I don't know how to explain it other than like the freest we ever felt. I felt like we were on mission. I felt like we had a serious purpose. I felt like we were doing a really good thing by being the hands and feet in the kayak fishing community and saying, hey, let's go do stuff. Let's not just do online tournaments or this or that. Like, what if we literally were actual friends and had fires and had, had smaller meetups and had dinner together and like all that kumbaya of touchy-feely stuff. Like, what if all that warmness of a friend, what if we did that? And it started happening. And then I saw these people meeting up together, having their own kayak fishing trips together, going to other states. Wendell, I'm kidding, going to other countries on excursions, kayak fishing excursions in Panama and Costa Rica, other places. And I'm like, okay, what we're doing is working. And that's really, really cool. And so I started to get a little bit of recognition by some of these kayak fishing manufacturers that I was a customer of for so long. Some of those being, Railblaza and Yak Gear and, Boondocks and some of these other companies, and started to get a little bit of, O-Meals and some of these other papers. They started to kind of support what we were doing, which made it easier. And so we started to do those meetups that I spoke about. So I was really at the top, man, and just really feeling great about what we were doing from 2015 to about 2017, 2018, until that started.
You're on the road for 2 years?
Over 2 years.
Animal.
Yeah. And so our kids, we were loving it until, we started to feel called back to Tampa Bay, Florida, where I was born and raised, and, to the ministry back over here. And I remember sitting at the RV table with my wife. We were at my favorite fishing spot ever, which is Point of Shin, Pack Kayak over in Louisiana. And our RV was posted there all the time for months at a time. And I said, I think it's time to go home. And she just started weeping. And she was like, I love this RV though. And I was like, trust me, I don't really understand why we're giving this up at the moment either. I really don't understand this. And so, but then we started to understand it once we did, follow that calling. We moved back to St. Pete. Well, when we did move back to St. Pete, I got, back involved in ministry. That's why we moved back here. And then I got, of course, invited to be full-time ministry. And when that happened, I wasn't really good at balancing Yak Tribe, the ministry, and Rizotech, our marketing company. And Yak Tribe, as much as I loved it, in 2019, 2020 started to really go downhill. Not because of the people, not because they weren't excited or supporting or buying shirts and hats or whatever, they were super into it. But I just had like a breakdown, and I was fishing, I was kayak fishing, and I set up my GoPro and I made a video, and I shut Yak Tribe down. I was like, hey guys, I can't do this. I love you guys. I don't know what's going on right now with me. I just feel torn. I don't know how to balance. I don't have the capacity. And I love you guys. I'm grateful for the support. Maybe one day my kids will open it back up or something, but I can't do this. And I was at a pretty low point, dealing with
sounds pretty low.
Dealing with things, in my life and trying to do my best to still have a smile on while telling Yak Tribe, thank you so much. But I shut it down. And the support I had when I shut it down was unreal. It made me almost want to be like, April Fools, just kidding. Because as I shut it down and made that video and put it out, and it went all over social media and everything like that, everyone was just like, hey, can I buy anything that you have? Like, can I buy anything remaining? I still want to rep the tribe. The tribe will live on. Hey, can you cut some more stickers? Can you print some more shirts? Will you take one last order? And it almost seemed like a stunt, because I made I made so many sales. Yeah.
Right.
But it was all in love. Like, people were like, hey, I'll take whatever you got. I don't even care if it fits me. And I was like, this really sucks to shut down, but I think it's what I got to do right now.
Okay.
And I took about probably close to 2 years. I stayed signed off for like a year, and then I kind of like looked in and dabbled in it here and there. That was a really low part, man. Low time. And I really learned a lot about how to manage and how to delegate and how to work within my capacity. And I started, like, honestly, I'm not, in all humility, really, I started to feel like I was actually killing it. Like, in my personal life, I felt like my tasks were getting done, and my clients were being taken care of, and the ministry was going well. And I was spending time with my family, which is my first ministry and most important thing in my life, is my relationship with my wife and my kids. And that was going well. And then I started to feel this desire, and people were still, even though I wasn't signed on, people were still having their own meetups, going on our website, finding people, posting on social media, using our hashtag. I logged back on, and people were still tagging Yak Tribe. And, after a while, I decided, yeah, it's time. I'm ready to come back. And this isn't like a Heath show. It's never been a Heath show. I really don't care for the spotlight, to be honest. But I was like, man, I'm ready to bring this back to life, and started to do it. And it's kind of like nothing ever really happened where I didn't stop it, because I logged on and like the notifications went crazy. People were already doing this, still tagging us like the week before I signed on. So that was really encouraging. And then my vision started to shift just a little bit. And yeah, man. So right now, I would say we're still on the up, because I have a lot of dreams still and a lot of plans for Yak Tribe, as the community allows, if they're up for it. And so right now we're on that curve, still up, man.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
So I got some comments over here from the comment section. Also, if you have a question for Heath or Wyatt or myself, go ahead and throw that in the comment section. We'll get around to that. Jared Booth says, my fishing buddy got married and has one kid and one on the way. So he's out. I'm going to need a new one.
Yeah.
I know where you can find one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yak Bass over here. Same here. I fish alone 80% of the time. I'm a one-man wolf pack from Utopia Outdoorsman. Most of my friends are too busy. And I'm sure you hear a lot of this.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. I definitely hear that all the time. And there's a fine line too, like I like my time alone on the water. There are days where I don't want anybody with me. It's like, but Heath, you are the tribe guy. Like, what do you mean? This is what you literally preach this. And I'm like, Yeah, man. But sometimes you just got to have your own time.
Tribe of one every once in a while.
Every once in a while. But then, let's get after it, together. So,
Wyatt, what do you think?
I mean, that's a wild part of like finding the balance in there. And I think everybody, I know that was the one for you, but I mean, I think everybody out there has that moment in their life where they've taken on too much and they're just kind of like, everything has to stop, and finding that balance is, let's say that's going to be the turning point for it. Where does the Yak Tribe going? Where do you see it in like two or 3 years?
Yeah. So, in the next 2 or 3 years, I really see the Yak Tribe kayak shop doing, okay. So I'm not sure if you saw this in your research,
but that bus.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Do I see that in my research? I'm going to bring that up and show everyone on the screen. Sorry if you're listening in, but I'm going to share this on the screen. We got to see this bus. Here we go.
So team kayak series will be in Orlando in 2 weeks. Cool. So I need to see that bus out there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got to do a better job. We have so much content that I need to update on the website and show off. But we basically go over to a mobile kayak fishing shop on the right. Yeah. So that was a prison bus that we purchased and at auction from the government from St. Pete. And I bought it.
It could tell.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. So what's crazy is I bought that. It had 101 or 102,000 miles on it.
Is that a lot for a bus?
Okay, no, obviously it's a diesel engine. It's a Caterpillar. It's an actual Thomas bus with a Caterpillar engine with 101 or 2,000 miles on it.
They'll go $500,000, won't they?
Yeah, and so I actually won that at auction for $5,300, I believe.
Did it feel? Yeah. It felt like a win in the moment, but when you started working on it, was it actually a win?
Dude, it was a win. It was tough. Good. But like I said, like you said, I really am down for those child labor laws. So my kids really put in and helped. So yeah, man, that bus right there, it's really a staple in our events. And so basically with these Yak Tribe events, what we've always tried to do since 2017, we started our events, is support whatever local is going on. So we roll up to local kayak shops and we partner with them. Doesn't cost them anything. We do all the promotions. We do all the sponsorship. We do everything. We work with all of our sponsors to put these events on. If you show up to our events, the food is free. Seriously, the hot dogs are free. The sodas are free. The waters are free. The Capri Suns are free for the kids. The prizes are free. You can show up and not even have fished the tournament. You could have rolled in off the street and been like, what's going on at this kayak shop? And you can win a $3,000 kayak just by popping by. We give out raffle tickets for free. I mean, it's just an awesome thing. And so the vision is to continue that over the next few years. But also, Wendell, I want to say, man, let me just go ahead and put this out there because you've done a great job on your tour of going from manufacturer to manufacturer. And you and I share some of the same vision because I'm a videographer. I love documentaries. I watched yours. You killed it, did a great job. It's funny because like, as I set up part of my trips, they're like, oh yeah, Wendell's on his way. I'm like, oh no, is he really already there? You know? And so I really don't ever see my homies in the industry as competition, but I'll be at Yak Attack next week or the week after, also doing a documentary and Boondocks and a few other places. And so nice. I'm really kind of bringing back that first love of mine, which is production. We had a podcast before. I'm leaving that to you guys. You guys are the big dogs. You guys can handle the podcast. You guys got that unlocked. Keep it up. Doing a great job. I'm going to keep moving down the road at the events, the social media content, of course, but documenting doing the documentaries on the manufacturers as well as the we've always done documentaries on just the Joe Schmoes. That's been a big thing for Yak Tribe is like, you know, we love the people like who kill it at tournaments like you, my man, and who are doing a great job and have and we would love to film a documentary on you, you know, take me up on it. We would love to do it. I'll shoot you some of my portfolio. But we also like to make documentaries on people nobody has ever seen. The person that literally doesn't really have a social media presence. They don't really have, any following. And honestly, those videos don't really perform, but I'm still in it to like do it.
It builds the community. I was literally just having this conversation this past weekend that like I would watch a channel, I would watch a podcast, I would watch content of somebody going to a boat ramp and just interviewing everybody at the boat ramp. How long you been kayak fishing? What's your favorite lure? Just like let's just talk to everybody who's there. Let's interview everybody that's there, and just have a grand time. And then as you post those videos, people see them, and I'll say you start recognizing everybody through those videos. No matter if they fish one tournament, stuff like that. Hey, I saw that video of you, and it just kind of builds the community. Everybody gets to know each other a lot better. Yeah.
You're right. And I honestly feel that burden. Like, I like making videos where we roll up on people on the water and I'm like, hey, can I film? And I do like a literally, I don't know this person. I'm like, what's in your tackle box series with this kayak fisherman? I love doing that. What's
your tackle box?
Literally, I'm like, hey, can I film a video with you? And they're like, no. And I'm like, all right,
go away.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I do feel that burden to like shine the light on, there's a lot of people out there. I'm never going to be one to throw shade. I'm a big supporter of everybody and their art and what they do and how they do it. Everyone's different. Everyone has different goal and mission. But I do feel the burden because we're really more of a grassroots, community and things like that, connection and the warm, fuzzy feelings and everything like that. We're not huge into like the big clickbaity stuff and all that. And so I do feel, and nothing wrong with that, but for those who do it, if it works for them, it works for them. But I do feel the burden of making content, even if I know it's only going to get 200 or 300 views, to shine the light on people that wouldn't have had that light shown on them before. And so like, I literally just did a documentary in Georgia and I'm not, I got to be careful. This person is pretty well known now. They're killing it. They're doing an amazing job. But I spent, I don't even know if it's really right to talk about this, but I don't know. I think people might find this interesting. I spent something like $1,300 or $1,400 of our own money, like out of my pocket, like out of Heath's pocket, to go to Georgia, to get an Airbnb, to do everything that needs to be done, to film a documentary. And you know how many views that full documentary, 4K, 60 frames per second, beautiful narration, drones, slow-mos, like it's like professionally done. It didn't even crack 600 views. But to me, I'm like, dude.
It's painful to me. I'm not going to lie.
It's painful, but it does. But I do feel like, I'm doing something good. And I feel like it's going to pay off. Those things are going to pay off at some point, even if I don't see the fruits of it right now.
Yeah, no, 100%. Guys, we have 70 live right now. If you have not yet done so, please hit that like button. Of course, it's going to give this video a little extra juice when it's all said and done. Wyatt, you got any questions? I got one for Heath.
I mean, like, I know you're talking about you don't want a ton of support, but tell us about what's hanging back there behind you. Like we gotta so you gotta give away to people.
What you selling
people away to support you.
Man, I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, so we've got a lot of these we don't make. This is like regular. Like I'm a big topwater guy, so I'll burn topwater all day long. Topwater or die. Like that's my thing, right? Big snook, big redfish on topwater. That's my thing. So we've got a bunch of models of the. You guys are familiar with the lure that's shaped like this, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
The lure that is who shall not be named.
Shall not be named. Yeah, I've got a bunch hanging right here, as you can see. So I love this lure. I love these lures. It's a great one for you guys, even for freshwater guys. But these right here are the Yak Tribe topwaters. And I'll tell you, these sell on the website for $6.99, right?
How do you make any money?
Cheaper than name brand.
What I told you, like I don't really make money on this. And so I do get crucified by like my business friends in the industry. They're like, dude, you could totally like make so much money and sell memberships. And like, honestly, I'm going to support people who do that. Like rock on. You guys got that covered. But me, I love this. I love fishing topwaters. $6.99.
I give it away for free.
Yeah. It's got BKK hooks. It's more durable than this, the other one we mentioned. It's more durable, lasts longer, sounds better. It's higher quality, the eyes, everything much better for literally 40-50% less depending on where you buy it. I sell it for $6.99. We've got a whole slew of those, and we've got a whole slew of soft plastics that sell for $5.99. So all high quality stuff.
Pretty fantastic.
Yeah, man.
So for those who are listening in, not looking at it, on the bottom of the screen, you can go to www.yak-tribe.com/shop, or just go to yaktribe.com.
Yeah.
And you'll see the shop store. What else you got over there?
Let me show you this one right here, bro. I know, because I know we've got some cross. I'm a big saltwater guy. One of you guys have to bring me out and teach me how to fish. I've always said this, and I said this to Chad too. I said, Chad, the burden is on you to bring a guy like me out and teach me how to catch bass. So I can go to Florida lakes and catch bass, but I'm talking about go to y'all's lakes that you fish tournaments on and teach me, how do you read these sonars? How do you, I don't know. It's different than catching a monster bass in a little golf course lake, right? So anyways, you freshwater guys would like this as well. This is the gold mine here. These work really, really well. These are nice. Got a bunch of different colors like the moonshine. And anyways, you can see those on the website, but yeah, good stuff.
But we want to see them now. Bring those things back.
I got you, bro.
Wyatt's show you. It was all glared up.
Yeah, hold up.
I know. It feels like you're plugging it, but I mean, it's support. It supports the.
Let me show you guys. This is our gold mine. You can use this weedless. You can use this, however you want to run it. But these work really great weedless, especially on a one of the jigs that are kind of like football style too. So
walk people through like they're listening in and not being able to see it.
Yeah, so this right here is our gold mine. It's a 3.5 inch. This particular one, it's a paddle tail. It's got really good action on it, as you can see right there. So this moves a lot of water, a lot of vibration. It's got the eyes on there, as you can see as well. It's got red eyes on there, and just the flakes are heavy. So this shines super bright, on those sunny days. Yeah, it's a really nice lure right there. I want to show you this one too, because you might like this one. This particular color, I picked out all these colors and made these here. So that's the moonshine right there.
You pour these?
No, I don't pour these.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a nice one. This one does really, really well. Let me show you real quick. Got some. What else you guys want to talk about? We gotta get into some fishing talk too.
Oh, we will. We'll talk. I gotta here in a few minutes. We'll let Wyatt take it home. But yeah, we have a comment over here. We'll get to that in a moment. You got something else to show us?
I should have been more prepared. This one's all beat up. So this is my redfish lure right here.
There you go.
Killer. They're all branded. Everything's all branded. Killer lure right here.
It looks used and abused. Looks like you've caught a few on that.
It is used and abused. This is going to be one that looks familiar to you guys. I think I have it back here. Yeah, here it is. There's no reason we should be paying crazy monies for that. This one. You guys know that one, right?
Especially when Heath gives them away for free over at yaktribe.com.
Yeah. So $6.99 BKK hooks, all good stuff. Sounds really good. Yeah. Literally, you can catch like multiple overslot redfish on this, no problem.
Well, looks like I know where I'm going after the show tonight.
Yeah.
Look forward to that. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
I am anytime anyone ever gives me money in the comment section and asks the questions, I just stop the show. Just let everyone know.
Sweet.
I don't care what the question is. I'm going to ask it. So here he is. Stinky River Tom. Bringing in $10. Appreciate it, brother. Any insight for someone trying to kayak fish, new to this, in some brutal waterways? Not quite sure exactly what that means. But I only caught one muskie on the Yak year one, and I got laughed at a ton. And I'm trying to get it dialed in for 2026. So when Wyatt, Heath, when you hear that, what comes to mind? Help Stinky River Tom out.
He's doing great because he's caught more muskie than I've ever caught in my life.
There you go. So, you beat Wyatt Hammond. That's not a thing a lot of people can say, Stinky. Not something a lot of people can say.
Like, I feel like with as much fishing pressure and as many people are out on the water with boats and kayaks and everything, like every waterway is a brutal waterway. I mean, there's private ponds, stuff like that. And you've got people have their little like sneaky spots here and there that are just loaded with giant fish, but just going out there, you just got to keep going out there. You got to keep going out there and keep trying different stuff. If it's not working, change it. I'll say the mantra I'm preached at. If something's not working, change it. If you're going out there and throwing a spinnerbait all day and you're not catching fish, go out there and throw a square bill. If that's not working, go out there and throw a creature. If that's not working, go out there and throw something else. Like you got to put the time in. You got to keep putting the time in and keep kind of trying to recognize what's working, what's not working, and then leaning into what starts working, and then you'll start figuring it out little piece by piece.
Yeah.
Tom, where are you located, my friend? Because I'm getting ready to. I think of course, he fishes a lot of rivers and stuff, but I'm leaning heavy in 2026 into a lot of river fishing. So, be looking forward to sharing what I'm learning along the way.
I'm saying like Potomac, PA, probably PA, or yeah, I'm going PA, Virginia.
He's not. He might have left. He's like, fine, Darren's not going to answer my question. I'm going to be out of here. He's probably typing right now. It's like, I can't type fast enough. Leave me alone. Northern Wisconsin, mean, nasty rivers. Northern Wisconsin. Gosh, he's like Canada.
Way
actually
there,
Michigan at that point, if he's Northern Wisconsin. Yeah, that is ooh. I got nothing for you. I don't fish Northern Wisconsin.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
one time.
Let's go ahead and switch gears. I got some more questions for you, Heath. We'll come back to that, but Wyatt, can you lean over to the side of your desk and pull up that thing I asked you to bring to the show?
Might have to zoom out a little bit.
Might have to zoom out a little bit. The trophy is so large.
Let's go.
There it is. Bassmaster Kayak Series. Second place. Oh, man, I was rooting for you so bad.
So close.
But knowing before you went down there, you told me, hey, Florida's never really been good to me. And there were over 250 anglers in this tournament. And, of course, Wyatt Hammond's up there at the top. So, Wyatt, for someone who has no clue what the Bassmaster Kayak Series is and really doesn't understand or never really fished the Kissimmee chain, paint the picture. Walk us through pre-fishing, boat launch, the amount of people, what's going on with the fish, and just walk us through the days of the tournament and specifically your battle for first, because you were holding it day 2.
So, I mean, like right off before I even got down there, Bassmaster, I don't know what was going on with their contract, but they had the high school bass championship, the college bass championship, and the opens back to back weekends on Kissimmee chain.
Oh, hammer!
So, yes. So I mean that place was getting smoked, and then of course we had the craziest cold front that Florida's ever seen. I got down
degrees,
there,
folks. 70 degrees. Yeah.
I got down there. It was 28 degrees on Sunday.
Oh gosh.
Like there's ice on everything. I think it was 33 degrees on day 2 of the tournament morning. Like
did you see any snow? Did you see snow anywhere? Because parts of Florida actually got snow.
Wow.
Yeah. I know last year I was actually in St. Pete and I was flying back to North Carolina, and there was snow across the top of Jacksonville and all that. There was snow out there. But yeah, like it was. So I mean, fishing was unbelievably tough out there. As at the award ceremony, every single person that got up there said practice was terrible. Practice was terrible. Practice was terrible. No, like Florida fish. If anybody knows, they do not like the cold. Do not like cold snap, anything like that. But I went out there and I pretty much. Whenever I started practice, I just started fishing down the Kissimmee grass lines. Those Florida lakes are just lined with that Kissimmee grass, and I started just kind of everywhere I got bit or everywhere I caught a fish, I just mark a waypoint, mark a waypoint, mark a waypoint, mark a waypoint, and you kind of go like 2 or 3 miles down the bank with no bites, and then you get bite, and then 2 or 3 miles no bites, and then bite, and
so you're cruising.
Yeah, I'm like
you speed fish when you
like 3 and a half, 4 on my trolling motor. Just
you are cruising
because Florida, like you have to find them. You have to find the fish. It's not one of those places where you can fish everywhere and catch groups of bass out there, especially and then after all the pressure that they've had. So like by the end of my practice, I could look at the map on there and I could say I've had 5 bites in this 200-yard stretch, and then nothing for 2 miles on either side, which is like there's a wave of fish trying to push into that area to spawn.
Yeah.
And by the end of practice, I started like scanning offshore, trying to find, because all the fish I'd been catching on the Kissimmee grass lines were 15, 16 inchers, just little bucks and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I'm like, the females have to be right there. They got to be like right there.
5 to 10 feet.
Yep.
We're looking at? Yeah.
Like right. They had like, I could see the warm weather coming up. I knew the full moon's going to be at the end of this month. Like those fish are trying to get up there and spawn. And so I started scanning, kind of graphing out in front of the grass lines, marking like little ditches and things that I could see in the grass where you've got, 27 different kinds of grass out there, and they all kind of compete, and some of them die off and leave little veins and things like that out there. And I found a couple places, like I still wasn't killing them in practice, but I caught a couple fish offshore, and I was like, that's kind of the best thing I got.
What are the sizes of those offshore?
The offshore, I didn't catch a fish over 17 inches until Saturday.
Wow.
But like
just in time.
Yeah. And I went out there, and so, Saturday we get to the boat ramp. There's 250 kayaks in this tournament, and I have 50 of them in my boat ramp.
Wow.
we have to go down this like 300-yard long canal, and we have to sit in this one little area, and like we're all sitting there kind of touching boats to each other. Like there's no room in the back of the pocket. Like I ended up, myself, Garrett Morgan, and a couple other guys, we pulled up and we saw the boat ramp, and we're like, there's no way we're even going to make it to back our kayaks down. So we helped each other just unload our kayak and just throw it in the water.
Carried them down.
Dirt. Yeah, just carried them down, threw them in, because it was a mess. Yeah. Yeah, John was there. He has a trailer and everything, so he knows.
Was there even enough like spots for trailers and trucks? Nope. Or people like
parked? They were parked out down the road. Russ Snyder was at our ramp, and he drove all the way to where the boat ramp section was, turned around and drove all the way back out down the road. About 10 minutes later, he comes backing down the entire road. He just backed it up, the whole thing. Yep, because there was nowhere to park, and he was saging all the way down the road. But
that is wild. So
yes,
the Kissimmee chain is a ton of lakes. So why are so many people on a single boat ramp? Why is there 50 people at a boat ramp?
So Toho was fishing very, very well. Florida is one of those where a lake will turn on. One lake will turn on, and one lake will be fishing a little bit better, whether it's like half a degree warmer, or just it's got current going through it, or when the wind's pushing the bait around and pushing something around. It seems like, one lake will just kick off, and the rest of them, the rest of them were probably kicking off this week or something like that. They're just taking a little bit longer to warm up. Maybe they're a little bit deeper or something like that. But
yeah,
Toho was where it was at, kind of the north, from about mid lake up. And I went out there, and I had one competitor on my spot, and I was going to start offshore, but I saw that he was going to kind of that offshore spot. And I was like, well, let me just go down the Kissimmee grass line right quick just to see if I could catch anything. And I had one bite down there. And I went down the line of grass, had the one bite, turned back around, went down it again. I was like, I didn't have any bites. And I looked, and he had kind of drifted off the spot a couple hundred yards. And I'm like, well, let me go check it out, because it looks like he left. And I went out to the little waypoint that I had maybe 50 yards off the grass line. Like, okay, right there.
What's the depth out there where you're at?
It was about 6.5, 7 foot.
Nothing crazy.
The grass line was at about 5. So, I mean, it just kind of slow tapered off a little bit. And as I was going out to my waypoint, I was looking at side scan, and I saw 4 fish sitting in a little, just kind of a bare spot in the grass. I threw a waypoint on it, turned around, and made the cast into it, and never even hit the bottom with a rattle trap. And then I sat there for about 20 minutes and just caught fish.
out of a little hole. How big's this hole?
I mean, it was just a little ditch, probably the length of a cast. And
wow, they're just
probably
set
50, 60 feet wide. Yep. And I caught 94 inches in about 30 minutes.
You're an animal. Wow. You do this all the time, every freaking time. He's like, oh, I caught 96 inches. I caught 165 inches in a matter of 24 minutes. Wyatt. Crazy. What's the biggest fish you caught out of that little?
I caught it 20 3/4 out of that school.
Okay.
Yep.
So you went from like 0 to hero on the leaderboards in a matter of seconds. Everyone's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So Wyatt, what's your? Go ahead.
Heath, you're Wyatt. My co-host now. We're interviewing Wyatt. So Heath, jump in.
Yeah. What's your protocol there? So you're fishing the line, right? So I found myself in this position a few times as well. And so it's like, you're okay. So you were on the grass line fishing. Yeah. Homie is like about to go offshore to this general area that you're like, all right. So what are you doing with like your mannerisms? Like, what are you doing to like, are you going to try and throw him off your scent and be like, oh, I'm really going to attack this shoreline over here? Or are you just going to hope that he kind of drifts off and then you'll kind of sneak up in there?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm not going to fight anybody for any spots. Like there's fish out there to be had. If I need to go find somewhere else, I'm not going to go up and roll. And I know him. It was one of my buddies. I've roomed with him before. So I'll say there's nothing like I will go try and find fish somewhere else before I go fight somebody for a spot. Like if they got there first, it's theirs.
Why it seems pretty non-confrontational.
But like I'm sitting. Yeah. I mean, I was going down the whole way. Like, is he still there? Is he still there? Is he still there? Is he catching?
That's what I mean. Like you want to act like you don't even care about what he's doing, so that hopefully he'll leave. You know?
Yep.
Yeah. He's looking at you, by the way. Is he still there?
Fished out there
looking at each other, waiting for each other to move. Is he gonna move? Is he gonna move?
Yeah.
You're both in each other's spots, just waiting for the other person to move. 5 hours later.
Yeah. Man.
All right. So this is day 1 or 2.
That was day 1.
Okay. So where are you standing in day 1 at the end of the day? Unless you got some.
I think I was fourth or 5th at the end of day 1.
So 4th or 5th with your biggest fish being a 20.5, that isn't a crazy day down in Florida. Like people are not having a good day fishing.
Big fish for the day was 24 1/4. That was Garen Butler. And I think so far I know of like 4 or 5 24 1/4s that were caught this tournament.
Yeah. And 2 of them were caught by the number 1.
Two 24s were caught by the one guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I would just go home if I caught 2 24s back then. Anybody else in the comment section? If you caught 2 24s in like the same day, I would just go home.
I saw him walk into the awards ceremony, and I was like, "What is he?" I was like, "I would have called Steve and said I'm not coming in. You can mail me my check."
Yeah,
like I'm staying out here.
That is insanity.
He said he caught he was talking to us before the awards, and he was like he's just throwing back 20s left and right. He's like all day he's like throwing back 20s, and he's like, the bite kind of died off at 1 o'clock. I'm like, that's 6 hours.
6 hours of throwing back 20s.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's terrible for you. You're sitting there just catching 20s all day.
Hot Scarby over here. I take 1 in 2026. I hear you, man. I hear you. That's wild. That's wild. All right, so day 1, you're sitting 4th.
Yep.
Who's sitting first, second, third?
First was Matt Reiser. Second was Ryan Matowitz. I think third was Ryan Nye. And all my Old Town teammates and previous Old Town teammates. But I talked to the guy that was out, Jake Kulis, awesome dude. He actually won one of the bass events last year. I talked to him. We came back to the boat ramp together just to make sure that we got back all right, because it did get a little windy there. And we were talking the whole way, and he's like, dude, he's like, you're in it, I'm not. He's like, I only caught 4 fish today, so he's like, I'm gonna go somewhere else. He's like, you can have that spot. And it's just like awesome sportsmanship from him. Yeah. So I really appreciate him. And then day 2, we come out, and there's like 20 boats at the boat ramp, so significantly easier day 2 out there. And
30 people had a terrible day fishing. That's what happened the day before.
Yeah. Yep. And then so I beelined it straight to that spot, and it took me 45 minutes to get there. You get 30 minutes of travel time, and then 15 minutes of it was still me traveling while the other people were fishing. And I got there at 7:05, and from 7:05 to 7:27, I caught 92.5 inches there in 20 minutes.
You essentially caught all your tournament fish in a matter of 50 yards.
Yeah. Like one waypoint.
bro.
In like under an hour total.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, after a couple hours, like once the sun came up, 7:30, 8 o'clock, those fish just kind of pan. I don't know. I could never figure out if they went into the Kissimmee grass or back offshore. But after a little while, I wasn't catching them, and I'm like, day 2 just slicked off. I mean, it was 75 degrees. It slicked off, no wind, nothing like that. And I was like, these fish are trying to bed. It's bright and sunny. It's calm. It's warm. I was like, I'm going to go punch some mats and see if see if there's some fish just sitting up under there. See if there's a couple females just sitting under some grass mats or something. And I upgraded twice doing that. I caught an 18 and a 20 doing that.
Okay. Just punching the mats.
Yeah.
The grass, punching the grass.
Yeah.
So when did you get overtaken on day 2?
It was about.
I texted you early in the morning. Homie texted me back while he's in the fishing tournament, by the way. Like, why? I thought it was over. I guess I wasn't paying attention. Like, why did you win this thing? He's like, no, I still got the rest of the day. I was like, why are you texting me? Go back to fishing. Like, what are you doing? Gosh, like the best guy coolest dude I've ever met in my life. All right, keep going, Wyatt.
It was, I think it was like 11 o'clock or so, 11, 12 o'clock, where Ryan started catching him and working his way up there. He was fishing kind of a little bit farther north, but he had a lot of people try and come in. Like, a lot of people saw him because he was in second place day 1, and a lot of people went up there and started fishing around him.
Oh, really? That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Well,
so like he had a lot more pressure on his spot, but he ended up catching a 21 at the end of the day, which is part of the reason why I started going punching, and I left my offshore spot because I was like, I haven't caught anything giant off the offshore spot. If I'm going to catch something 24 inches, it's going to be under a grass mat.
Yeah. Oh, so close. So what was your total inches for total?
I had 190 and 3/4.
And what did Ryan come in at?
194 and 1/4. I mean, like 3 and 3/4 inches.
Okay, he earned it.
3.5 inches.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of inches between first and second, but still. Oh, was everyone catching him on the same thing? Rattle trapping, punching, or was everyone
the rest of the top 5? I think were catching scoping. They were scoping. I know Ryan said he was throwing an Alabama rig scoping, which is. Don't like losing to an Alabama rig scoping in Florida, but if anybody like just tell me you were punching or something, just tell me you were power fishing.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Yep, but yeah, I caught all my day 2 fish on a. Let's see if we can make it. Big giant chatterbait.
Is that a Z-Man trailer?
It's a 6 cents Shindo.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted something big. I wanted like a big trailer I could put on the back of that thing. So
that was it between those 3 lures: chatterbait, rattle trap. Any particular rattle trap? Those things come in all different shapes and sizes.
I was using their little Rapala snares.
Okay, that's not a rattle trap at all.
That guy. Yeah, they're nice, and they have a nice deep sound to them. So, and they're kind of small for a rattle trap. So I've been I think they just came. I'm not sponsored by Rapala. They just came out a couple months ago, and I picked a couple up, and I've been catching a lot of fish on them around here.
Bring that back up here again. Let me see it again.
That guy right there. Yep.
Right on. Do you change out the hooks on any of your stuff, or do you just out of the box?
Everything that moves. This one actually has. I changed out the split rings to oval split rings. And I changed out the hardware that comes with it to it's 80-pound. Just some of the stuff that comes on stock baits and things is kind of junky.
Yeah. And
then I changed out the hooks to the triple grips. I do light wire on rattle traps because I want them if they swipe at it to get hooked.
Those are triple grips.
Yeah. I actually these are Gamakatsu Gamakatsu, the EWGs. I used to go heavy wire on my rattle traps, but I feel like I lost a couple fish because it didn't. Like, I'm throwing 12-pound tests on a rod that's kind of soft, and I was throwing heavy wire hooks, and I feel like I lost a couple fish.
Okay,
because of that, so I went to suit them just light, super sticky, where if they just kind of swat at it, it'll get them.
Do you essentially, when you get any lure, you basically just change out the hardware on it?
I kind of overly psychoanalyze all of it.
Seems to be working for you, Wyatt.
The guys that I fish with would tell you I've been working on this, getting this bait to work for about 2 months now.
Wow.
just for Florida.
What do you mean getting it to work?
So I've been messing around with trailers and things like that, and I've had hookup issues because I've been messing around with giant trailers on a chatterbait, 6-inch, 7-inch trailers on a chatterbait.
You're getting short strikes.
They're getting the hooks. They were getting the hooks. They're scratching. There were teeth marks down the whole blade and things like that, and they were still coming off. Like I'm hooking the fish. I'm hooking giant fish, and they're just pulling off, and they're just losing it. I don't know if the trailer's like folding in their mouth and they're not getting it. But I went to this one, and it's a little bit thinner. It's actually kind of like swims behind the chatterbait pretty well, and I lose a lot fewer fish on it.
All right.
And I've been like, I go way overboard whenever I'm preparing for something, and I think it's gonna be a key player. Like I changed out rods, I changed out line, I changed out reels, I changed out that's actually a jackhammer that I cut the skirt off and put a different skirt on there just so the blade is a different color.
Do you ever goof around and modify the blades to get different vibrations and frequencies?
On spinner baits, yeah.
Okay.
Spinner baits, you can cup them, but this one is it's a shad color, but you can't really tell, but it's a black nickel blade.
Okay.
So it's not super flashy.
This is what you think about when you go to sleep at night. You're like, oh, gold blade, black, trailer, Yak Tribe, EKK hooks. I don't think your brain ever turns off.
No.
Ugh. So you bass fish? You don't bass fish, do you?
No. I dabble.
Yeah. Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah, I was talking to you.
Not like Wyatt does.
No,
I mean,
not like Wyatt.
Dude, no, not like that. I will go bass fishing. I just did the chat over in Georgia, Tennessee area. I'll fish. Dude, I live in Florida. There's golf courses right by my neighborhood there. I got
there's giants in there.
Yeah, I
8-9 pounders over there.
Yeah, I catch. But I don't fish like, I can't go to a lake and be like, all right, let's see here. Let's find. No.
I've always told people, like, if I lived that close to saltwater, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you what a bass looked like.
You wouldn't, true. Man. Yeah, this is
insane. That tarpon that I stole from your thumb page and used it as my thumbnail, bro. You have to tell that story, Heath.
Yeah, man. That tarpon is that's kind of what I do now. This goes back. What's the guy that asked the question about catching muskie? I forget his name.
Dinky River Tom.
Yeah, he was on this earlier. Tarpon fishing. I got some decent advice for him. You mentioned spending a lot of time on the water. Time you can't substitute time with he said, she said. Any of this stuff. You got to get out there and you got to do it. You got to put time on the water. You got to learn the fish. You got to learn what they're into. Tarpon fishing. I always had this dream to catch a tarpon from my kayak. And so I started actively, like really taking the whole season, which the whole season is end of April, May, June. That's why I have a love-hate relationship with iCast, because it cuts into my tarpon fishing, because it's like right there. And then we're done with iCast. And then all the tarpon are like, let's go to the panhandle, I guess, And so, tarpon fishing about 5 years ago, I was like, man, I want to do this. So I went and I did all my research, and I'd already been doing this research for years too, but just research, talk to shops, talk to people, where are these tarpon at, trying to learn as much as I can about tarpon, and just so much information coming in. This is the secret bait. Oh, tarpon don't bite this. Tarpon don't bite that. You have to get past crabs. You have to this. And it's just like, you get out there on your kayak and you're like, okay, I've got 1,000 things to try. So, and then, you see a massive tarpon in front of you, or a pod of tarpon in front of you, and you're like, the captain said do this, but was he just trying to lie to me so I wouldn't catch these tarpon? I'm not really sure. And then my friend said this, but is he trying to lie to me so that he catches a tarpon before me? Or it's like all that stuff that goes in, right? So my first year, 5 years ago, I hooked up with my first tarpon, lost it. It was, that stunk. But I learned a lot about that. I learned its behaviors. I learned what bow the rod to the king meant. I learned so much just by hooking up and losing it. And so I went out a ton more times for the season, saw him, couldn't catch him. Second year, then you got to wait 10 more months for them to show up again, and so then I waited again. And the second season came around, and I hooked up with 2, and I didn't land one, but I really got to understand them, learn them better. I started to know whose advice to not take and what might be real and what might not be real. And just started to hone in on the tarpon in my area. And the season 3 came. So 3 years ago.
So hold up. You are now 3 years into not landing a tarpon.
Yeah. And
some fortitude, my friend.
Yeah, man. And that's what I mean. Like, it's time. It takes time to learn it. No, guides won't catch them for you. Guides can steer you in the wrong direction. It's fishing so weird because it's like, you might be onto something and then like somebody doesn't want you to succeed. So they're like, oh no, you know what you should do? You should do this. And you're like, really? Like, yeah, that's what I've caught them on before. And then now you're bunny trailing on something else that's not going to work, So my advice is like, get out there, forget everything that everyone else is saying, maybe take into account some of it, but you get out there, you dip your finger in the water and taste it and see what's going on. You analyze everything, you figure it out, and you might start to find something that works, that you unlocked the secret magic code, right? And so, and of course, I'm watching other people see what's going on. Then the third year comes around, I hook up with a bunch. Now I'm getting hookups. Now I'm feeling confident. Like, okay, now I know what to do. I know when to go. I know where to go. I know multiple places to go. I know what types of bait to use. And then I hooked one. I am convinced. It's too late now, but I'm convinced that I've caught the biggest tarpon on a kayak. I'm convinced. It measured over. I didn't get to submit it, but I looked up the record for it. But there's a time in which how long you can take to submit it. But we got out all the leader and measured girth and took videos of everything. I got the videos of everything. This tarpon calculator, multiple tarpon calculators together, the average was 209 pound tarpon. It was 8
Why?
feet.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, if you pull up that picture, it was like 8 feet 9 inches, something like that. Landed it. And so I'm like, man, this is it. Like that, I did it. Season 4 comes around, and now I'm more confident than ever. Landed another tarpon. Season 5, landed another tarpon. Caught another tarpon. Now I'm just starting to catch these tarpon because it takes time. 5 years it's taking to feel confident in like what gear to use, where to go, what types of bait, what backup bait to have, what triple backup bait to have, like all of those things.
So why did you lose the first 3? Like what are the things you're doing? Or
I've lost. Yeah, I've lost more than 3. I've lost dozens of tarpon. Yeah, I've lost tarpon. The thing is sometimes, well, every one of them have been a little bit different, but for the most part, I wasn't ready. If you're going to do it on a kayak, you have to, I'd love to give a class on this, but you have to have, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough yet, or have enough under my belt to give a class, but to the guy who wants to go out there and do it, you have to have a system on what you're going to do when it all goes crazy. Because you've got that line in the water, whether you're sight fishing them. I've caught them. I've landed a tarpon, sight fishing tarpon. I've also landed tarpon soaking bait at the bottom, also on suspended. So you've got to know what you are going to do with your kayak and anchor and extra rod and this and that and GoPro cameras and everything. You got to make those decisions ahead of time, because when it happens and that tarpon grabs your bait and is flying and you just see your spool getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
200 pounds of power.
Yeah. You've got to have a protocol. And so I lost a lot of my first tarpon because I didn't know what to do yet. I was just so excited that I was like, I got it. Oh my God. It's on this rod. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's this right here. Yeah. I'm like, I got him. And then, my anchor. So now I got to get my anchor. And then like, by the time you give a tarpon any slack, it's done. It's over. You give a tarpon slack, it's done, because you're not actually piercing that that wall of the mouth, you're basically just like hanging on by tension. So if you ever notice when people watch the next video, people come up, sometimes you get it in like the perfect spot, but for the most part, they grab that mouth and the hook just like literally falls out. Yeah, because everything's just by tension, it's really, for the most part.
Cartilage in there, really. It's not
unless you get them right on the button, like real good, And so I lost them because of not having tension. So that's where that comes, like bow to the king, because when that tarpon comes up and jumps and trying to spit that hook, I'm trying to like give it a little bit of slack in that moment, because they would just spit the hook if I just held on so tight, just gripping it. And then as soon as they hit the water, boom, we're back on again, So yeah, man, there's a lot that goes into tarpon fishing. It's actually very dangerous to do. So by the way, I saw that you launched the kayak safety classes. I think I looked at it today. Good website, by the way. Looks good. It's all the information's clear. I'm considering doing it myself, and supporting what you guys have going on, and you kind of adding that to the resume. But this is a very dangerous. Chad's caught tarpon. Chad knows. This is a very dangerous thing. And if you go into this just willy-nilly, I'm going to go catch this, you are actually in for a world of pain. Catching a tarpon on a kayak is actually a big tarpon. Not, I'm talking about the monsters.
Yeah.
They're painful. Like you're sitting down, the rod is in your gut and you've got 200 pounds on the end, whipping you around. This hurts. So you really want to be careful doing this,
Yeah. One of the things that we're doing, Chad and I just met earlier this week to scope out the advanced, because what you're just looking at right now is basic, right? It's for the angler getting into kayak fishing, or we've actually had people starting to buy them as gifts for the people that they love. And it's just basic. But the stuff we're getting into now, I'm really jacked up about. I think we got 14 lessons scoped out. And from that, we're going to be doing coastal modules from people who are experts in the field, river modules from people who are experts in the field, not just the Chad and Darren show. So we're going to be bringing a lot more people in for advance. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for
awesome,
that,
man.
Yeah, and covering stuff like this, coastal stuff. That's a whole nother ball game. How long did it take you to land that thing?
Yeah, so the one that's in the picture that you have, that one took close to like 45-50 minutes once it was all said and done. And then you got to go through the revive process, of getting out to a sandbar and circle, all that type of stuff to revive the fish. And that takes some time.
Wow. That's wild. Wyatt, ever caught tarpon?
I've caught little tarpon. I think the craziest thing I've done in saltwater was king. We're gonna try like paddling my kayak, trolling for kings.
Okay.
And that
nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
I need to go over there too. like Michigan and start trolling for kings. It's the closest thing where I can find kings. I've caught a 19, not out of the kayak. I have an uncle who goes out there and go fishing for kings all the time, but haven't done it in saltwater.
You're doing different kings.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? King salmon?
Saltwater kingfish.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about kingfish. We're talking about saltwater kingfish.
I'm talking about kings. Like I thought you were talking about salmon.
No.
I used to live in Myrtle Beach, and I tried troll. I had an Attack 140 paddle kayak.
Nice. That's perfect for that.
Yeah,
dude, that's perfect. You hang off the sides of those things. Yeah, that's great. That's a great kayak.
But that was a learning experience. Like you hook one and it just spools you, and you're like, oh god, I got a little bit to learn on this.
Yeah, man, that's a good one. Yeah, you guys are definitely the right guys to do it. Chad's got a lot of experience with all types of fishing, so you guys creating that program is great, man. So yeah, if you ever need help, holler at me, man.
Will do. We had over here in the comment section, Ryan Matalevitz, who is the one who got first place, said, Wyatt is a hammer. Thanks for not catching one. Good job, bro.
glad I could help.
Yeah.
Friends. I know all you guys are friends. That was awesome. Well,
I have a question for you. I'm sorry. I have a question for you, Wyatt. I got one more for you, actually.
You got time.
So what about like take me? Okay. So what about me I am pretty, familiar with kayak fishing. There's other guys, I've looked at some of these comments. There's other people here who are interested in these types of freshwater tournaments and stuff. Obviously I'm a salt guy, been there, done that, still love it, still doing it. But I have had the idea of, okay, what if I go sign up for a KBF tournament? Or what if I go sign up for these, try to figure out how to do the trail and qualify? And what's the process for like a guy like me who's never done it before, the freshwater trails, bass fishing, who wants to get into it, who wants to compete? Honestly, from my perspective, looking at what's behind you and all these different trails and series and Bassmaster and KBF, like I don't even know where to start. How could I dip my foot in the water to even put myself in a position to be where you were at the other day fishing and for what you're fishing for?
So, I mean, a lot of it's just going out there and doing it. I mean, just signing up for it. I know it's kind of like intimidating signing up whenever you see 200 people on there, but like we're all friends at the boat ramp.
But what are the pre-qualifications though? Like, do you need
no pre-qualifications? So you being in Florida, like so for Bassmaster, there's no pre-qualifications. You just, submit the entry fee and show up. And let's say Steve goes over all the rules and things like that. But for like somebody like you, like the guys down there, there's the Bass Nation series, which is a lot more local. That way, I mean, Florida is still traveling 6 hours to get anywhere in Florida, but the Florida Bass Nation has tournaments. I think they're already like 5 tournaments into their season right now, and it's February.
No, it's crazy.
So, I mean, that's when you get your local group of guys, and you're fishing all the stuff that's kind of local to you. I think Alabama got started up with the Alabama Bass Nation. South Carolina has Bass Nation. So, I mean, the Bass Nations are all over the place, and it's exactly what you've got going on. It's a group of guys meeting up and going fishing. So it seems
so you're saying, so you're saying like the Bassmaster that you just fished, right?
Yep.
You could just sign up and go fish that?
Pay to play.
Yep.
I mean, it's not inexpensive to sign up. What is the entry fee on that, Wyatt?
That one was $250. It's like $260 with the PayPal fees and things like that. I mean, to go hang out with everybody and go fish and stuff like that. I mean, I've got the trophy wall back there, but like, I think the red one, if that's Nickajack, that was my very first time on that lake. So I've got a 10th place from Champlain. That was my first time on that lake. Fork, the one that I won, that was my first time on that lake. Like, I've got to go out there and figure it out just like everybody else. So
that's why I asked him to be the co-host of the show, so I can slowly figure out how he does it and compete at the highest levels of tournaments. I don't even fish a lot of tournaments, to be completely honest with you.
I know we mentioned it earlier in the show, but like getting a travel partner helped a ton at the beginning of all these. Like if you use the Yak Tribe and find somebody to travel, like the next Bassmaster Series one is about 2.5 hours away from me, South Carolina, Santee. Link up with somebody. Hey, let's go get an Airbnb. Let's go get a cabin, something like that, and let's go out there and fish and split the costs. I mean, you get to go to the destination lakes around the country. You're going to Santee during the spawn, so you're going to be possibly catching some giant bass out there. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, folks, one last question. Heath, it goes out to you. Yeah, you said you're getting ready to ramp Yak Tribe back up. 2026 a year. What's the vision? What's the dream? What's the goal? What's the time? Is there anything new that you kind of got up your sleeve? What's going on with Yak Tribe?
Yeah, man. So there's not, I don't have any like special tricks or like secret reveals. Actually, I take that back. There is one. There's one thing. There's one.
You just sharing it tonight.
The good stuff to the last time before.
Yeah.
For those of you who waited 1 hour and 21 minutes, you finally get to hear.
So actually, I have I mentioned I have 4 kids. I got 3 boys and a girl. They are like the Yak Tribe biggest fans ever. If you've ever seen us at ICAST, we roll in like a pack. I mean, my wife's got the stroller with my daughter in it, with my boys, and they're over there swiping every sticker and every sample, and like they come back with a massive bag, and I'm like, you're throwing all of that away, right? Or like giving it away, because we're not keeping all of those squishy balls. And like, no, that's not. No, they're our biggest fans, and so I have a line of our top waters. We've got 6 SKUs of those top waters already, but I have 3 more coming that are inspired by them. And so these top waters they're nothing like that. They're that silhouette and model and everything, but they're inspired by my kids. So they're very interesting and fun colorways. They're pretty cool. They're different. I'm certain that I'm certain a monster redfish and snook are they don't care about the colors. I mean, they care about how you work that top water, man, and stuff, and what's really on the bottom. They don't care they can't see what's on top of the top water. So they're just really cool, inspired by my kids. So I'm excited to push those ones out. They're going to be fun. I think all the way from kids to grown men like us are going to think it's maybe kind of cool, hopefully. So that line's coming out. I'm excited for that one. A lot more creativity when it comes. Yeah, go ahead.
And you're selling them for what, 39 cents?
Man, yeah. Actually, we might try and make a profit and go for 49 cents.
Whoa, come on now. Come on.
Yeah, man. So we're excited for that one. But yeah, a lot more creativity this year when it comes to our lures. We're going to be putting out more SKUs, more shirt designs than we ever have before. That creativity is really sparking up in my head, and we've made so much in the past, and that we're excited to put out some new designs and new apparel and things like that. So that's that. Of course, the Yak Tribe Kayak Shop and those meetups are going to continue, but this year I'm putting a lot of my efforts into filming these documentaries, and I'll send you some later. But filming these documentaries and meeting up and telling more people's stories, because that's what the tribe's about, is shining the light on the people. So yeah, man, we're kind of just doubling down on what we've always done, but just being a little bit more consistent with it. Because like I said, I was able to take that season and really grow and learn what our family's capable of doing it, and trying to find a consistent, consistency is king when it comes to running a brand and doing all those things. So that's really what's on the horizon for us.
I love it. So when you go up to Yak Attack, are you going by yourself, or are you taking a small crew? Or are you taking a whole fam?
No, so I'm actually taking my second professional cameraman, my second cameraman. I'm bringing him, that works all of my secondary B-roll, that runs the tripods, that runs the lights, that takes care of all of those things that I require on a video shoot. Of course, that professional cameraman and setter up person is my oldest son, Rylan.
And he's gone.
Oh, we lost him.
That was a great story. I was just getting ready to tell him, hey, you need to, if Wade Clements asks you to stay at this house, you need to say yes, but he's back. Oh, maybe I get to tell him.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, it's terrible audio, but yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry,
your battery
boys.
go dead?
Yeah, so we're on the laptop stuff now. My bad, boys.
Oh, that was quick though.
Yeah, that was fast.
So, anyways, it's my son. My 11-year-old son is my professional cameraman.
Got it. You hyped him up pretty big. I thought he was like
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's uber legit. So did Wade ask you to stay at his house when you go to Yak Attack?
You know, he did offer that. He definitely did.
Told me you have to say yes.
I bought a hotel.
Oh, bro, you need to cancel that hotel and stay.
What'd I do wrong?
You made a big mistake. That's all I'm gonna say. Him and his wife Angie are awesome. They hooked us up. We had steaks. I mean, they went.
Man, it just gives me another reason to go back. So.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, Heath, I appreciate you, everything you do for the community. I loved hearing your stories. Learn about fish I've never caught before. I don't know anything about saltwater, so I think I've fished saltwater maybe 8 days of my life. But man,
hey, you're always welcome down here. I tell this to everybody. I'm in Tampa Bay, Florida. Okay. St. Petersburg, Florida. We're a peninsula within the peninsula of Florida. We got water everywhere. You both are welcome to come. You weren't that far from me, man, Wyatt. Kissimmee is not that far.
I'll be back down in 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude, we got Yak Tribe guys that come by. Our house is always open. We got a couch there. People take us up on that all the time. You guys are welcome to come through. Listen, man, I got kayaks on kayaks in here. You could literally come down here with nothing, and that's what the tribe's all about. We have people that come. People go crisscross states and get off an airplane, and their homie from another state that they met on social media, they've got everything they need: the kayak, the rods, everything like that. So
yeah,
if you guys ever want to come through, man, you're welcome in my area. That's for sure.
Threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, man.
Wyatt, we need to go fishing together too. My gosh. Well,
you drove like all around me.
I know, and that was just after you picked up a bunch of donkeys in your little bowl of a lake that you fished too. Trust me, I thought about it that entire day. That was a work trip. That wasn't necessarily a super fun trip. I mean, it was fun. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't fun like fishing trip, but man. Well, Heath, will I see you at ICAST this year?
Of course, yeah, I'll be there. We should be. Oh, Lord willing, we should be there. Yeah. I'll
definitely see you. Wyatt, you ever get down to ICAST?
I have not gotten the invite. I need to work on getting an invite this year. So
yeah,
I'll be there this year.
That hat you're wearing, you just tell them, look, man, I need that badge.
The whole team tells them that. That's the problem.
Well, the whole team doesn't win first and second place Bassmasters either.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, folks, next week on the podcast, we have John Cruz from Missile Baits. This should be a good one. So I'm excited about that one. Might be my actual first professional angler on the show. It's breaking.
Yeah.
It's breaking. I love it. Folks, appreciate you. Thank you, Heath. Thank you, Wyatt. Thank you all for listening in live. And we see you next Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast. You guys have a good one. See you.